Hello, my dear friends. Today on Marriage Without Tears channel, we are discussing a very interesting topic. When a woman says no to the sexual advances of her husband, what should the husband do? Let me put it this way. When a wife says no to the sexual advances of her husband, what should the husband do? This topic is a very interesting one, and I would like you to pay ultimate attention, because in the course of your marriage, it will happen at a certain period in time, if it has not happened already, or if it's not happening several times over. So when a woman says no to the sexual advances of her man, what should the man do? I've seen situations where some men end up raping their wives. They feel it is her responsibility to subject herself to sexual intercourse, whether she likes it or not, whether she's in the mood or not. Some people will tell you, I paid for it. This is what I married you for. And then they force the woman to spread out and do what she's not ready or she's not comfortable with. I have seen situations also whereby the woman becomes so demeaned in the course of the intercourse that at the end of the day, it augurs no well for anybody. I want you to know that when a woman says no, there are certain actions which the man must take in order to get the relationship working at optimal level. That is what we want to discuss in the course of this very particular edition. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so immediately. There's a red button by my side. Once you click on this red button, you become subscribed to this channel, and then you can feast yourself on some of the wonderful topics we have already done in this channel. So please click on this very particular button and get subscribed immediately. Now, what's the first thing that a man must do if the wife says no to sexual intercourse? The very first thing you must do is to try as much as possible to respect her decision. Once again, respect her decision. She's a human being, and even before she married you, she had rights and choices to make about herself. Even though you are now in the marriage, she still retains those rights anyway. So try as much as possible to respect her decision, even though it may not be pleasant to you. But the very first thing is to know that there are boundaries which you must not cross, especially with her, if you must get her working with you in the way the marriage is supposed to work. So respect her boundaries. That's the very first thing you need to do. Then the second thing you need to do is to initiate a gentle, non-confrontational communication, a kind of dialogue to find out why she is feeling the way she is feeling. Because there must be a reason behind her action. There must be a reason. So some people, it could be stress, it could be sickness, it could be tiredness, it could be a myriad loss of things. It could be a whole lot of things, really. So you must initiate a gentle conversation with her, a non-confrontational kind of, dialogue that will bring out the truth about the matter. It's very, very important that you do that, even as you look forward to having a wonderful time in future. So initiate that conversation right away. It's very important. The third thing you must do also is to show empathy. Let her know that her feelings, her emotional well-being, her physical well-being is also a major concern in your heart. Because if you have that at the back of your mind, you will not force her to do what she's not willing or what she's not prepared to do. So be empathic. Empathy is very, very important in the relationship. It lets the partner know that your feelings, I take it into consideration. I can understand how you feel, and I'm willing to abide. I'm willing to listen to what your heart content is. That is empathy. So empathy is required at this period in time. If she's stressed out, if she's tired, is whatever is her feelings, whatever is, try to find that out and then empathize with her. Because the way she's feeling could also be turned the other way around. It could be the way you will feel in future. So don't do to somebody what you will not want that person to do back onto you. It's very, very important. Empathize with her at that period in time. That's the third thing you must do. The fourth thing you must also do is to try as much as possible to take into consideration the factors that are inhibiting her sexuality. I know of some people whose sexuality are inhibited when they are having serious emotional trauma. I remember a certain period in time when my wife's younger sister was feeling very sick. As a matter of fact, the lady later died. She was feeling very sick, and my wife was moving her from one hospital to the other, everywhere. At that point in time, there is no talk about sex at all, because if it ever comes up, you discover that you're on your own. So I didn't even broach that subject. So it could be a very, very major internal challenge. It could be sickness, it could be the sorrow of the heart, it could be an agony of one or the other, it could be out of stress from overwork, it could be a whole lot of things. So whatever it is, try to pinpoint that out and begin to consider ways that you can ameliorate that area. Is very, very important. But you must pinpoint that out. Because when a woman begins to say no to sexual intercourse, there is an undertone, there is an underlying challenge that she's facing, which she has not been able to bring to the fore. So as a man, try as much as possible to discover or uncover what that challenge is. It will make a whole lot of difference in your marriage and in your relationship. Once again, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so immediately. Please click on this red button, get subscribed, and be part of this channel. And I would also like you to introduce this particular channel to other married couples around you. You may actually be adding value to their marriage when they become part and parcel of this channel, because we talk a whole lot of things in this channel. Number 5, really, you need to adopt non-sexual means as a way of alleviating her challenges. What do I mean by that? I have seen people who, you adopt a particular hobby, something that you know that she will love, that is not sexual. I mean, it could be basketball, it could be badminton, it could be anything, something that she will love, something that both of you can share, something that can bring out excitement and laughter, something that can make both of you zealous to do. I mean, at the end of a hard day's work, you come back together on that table, and then you perform this routine. And gradually, that alone is capable of breaking down the barrier that is inhibiting sexuality. So that in the course of laughter, in the course of joyful moments between one another, sex flows naturally. So adopt non-sexual means as a way of alleviating that very particular problem. It's very, very important that you adopt that. The 6th thing you need to do is sometimes reflect on your relationship as an individual, as the man involved. Reflect on your relationship. Meditate deeply on your relationship. Are there things you are doing or not doing that could have added a lot of joy, a lot of fire into your relationship? Are there things you are not doing to bring out the sexuality in her? I know men who are so busy in their businesses, in their careers, they don't take note of the fact that their sexual, the sexual intimacy level is going down gradually. They don't take that into consideration until they wake up to the real reality that a whole lot of water has passed under the bridge. I know of people who are so keen in their professional life, they bring work home, they stay throughout the night, and when you go to bed and just jump on the woman and say, let's have sex, she's not in the mood for it, because you have brought her to that level whereby she is no longer enticed by it. So are there things you are doing as a man that is inhibiting the sexuality of your woman? Have you gone from being emotional to being a mechanical lover? A mechanical lover. A mechanical lover will just say, let's have sex. And before you know it, he's already going down. He's already going down to do that. But I mean, an emotional lover will will bring a lot of skill into the sexual enterprise. You start kissing, you start doing, playing some romantic roles. As a matter of fact, throughout the whole evening, you are getting her in the mood for sex. So have all that gone out of your marriage, that you have become a mechanical lover. Your woman does no longer look forward to a wonderful sexual experience with you. So that may be the reason. So check back, sit back, and think very well, think deeply about your relationship and know whether you are actually the problem or whether there are things you need to do to actually get the woman walking again the way she used to. Very, very important indeed. And of course, the 7th one I want to tell us is, if you have done everything and it appears as if the sexual life of your woman is going down, as if, she's no longer interested, then you may need to do the needful. And what is that? Seek for professional counsel. Look out for a marriage therapist, somebody who is actually trained to look at the intricacies and the dynamics in your relationship and is able to sift it through and bring out the reality and bring us the actual things that are inhibiting your relationship. And then you'll be able to attend to those things objectively and restore your marriage to what it ought to be. So seek for professional help. Seek for a marriage therapist. If you can't get a marriage therapist around you, because in Africa, when we talk about marriage therapy, there are quite a few people who do that. So if you can't get that, then look for an elderly couple that you respect their opinion so much. Someone that has had, decades of marital experience, who can sit you down as a child and speak to you about the challenges in your marriage and how you can get out of it. Seek for such counsel, an elderly couple. It can make all the difference, but you need help. You need help, I must tell you. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so immediately. Look at this red button, click on it, get subscribed. I love you. I hope we are still together. Good. And I would like to mention number 8 actually in this very particular edition. Number 8 you must do is to try as much as possible to discover the right hobby. Study your wife, know what she loves to do, or whether what gives her joy in terms of hobbies, and try to align yourself with that, or get her to the level whereby you begin to enjoy the same hobby together. I know I've mentioned it earlier, but a hobby, I must tell you, a hobby it's non-sexual, but it has a capacity of gathering, the capacity to gather emotions together. And you begin to walk as one, you begin to love as one, you begin to admire the same set of things. I will give you an example. If you love the same team, for instance, possibly you are a Madrid fan, or an Arsenal fan, or a Man U fan, or possibly you just love football, and your wife loves another team and you love another. You have found a meeting point where your emotions will gather together, and you find joy in supporting these teams. It can bring a lot of joy and laughter in your union. If you love something like swimming, or you love something like wrestling, or even basketball, or even a game of chess, a game of Ludo, something like that, a kind of joyful hobby that will ignite your passions, ignite your zeal, something that will make you hurry home from work in order to be a partaker. Possibly even if it is a hobby that makes both of you participants in that hobby, it will make a whole lot of difference. For instance, in the evening you both go out and you play a game of badminton or a game of lawn tennis. It makes a lot of joy. It brings a lot of joy. It brings a lot of excitement to the union, even though it is not sexual per se. But the kind of excitement that comes from it can gradually lead to sexual expression. So these are what we mean when we say get a hobby that will, push up your interests and passions. Is very, very important. So I consider that as number 8. The 19th I also want to say in this very particular edition is respect her timing. Don't cut short her timing. Don't try to checkmate it by rushing her into sex again. Because the moment you rush her and you begin to enforce your will on her, you break that rhythm. So it is necessary for you to allow her, fully, gradually come to the place of sexuality again. It's very, very important. Most men may not love to wait on the woman to come full circle because of their libido, because they want to do it. But the reality is, if you allow her time to process her thoughts and feelings and empty whatever is inhibiting, she's able to empty it out. She comes back to you as a better couple, as a better partner. I can tell you that. So allow her time to process her feelings and help her to process those feelings positively, I must say. And if by any reason you also discover, for instance, that somebody out there is trying to lure her out of your arms, then of course you must guard your loins and do the needful. There are some videos we did earlier on, extramarital affairs. You can go down, check our playlist, check those videos. It will give you a whole lot of insight on how to deal with such matters. But it is not something you deal with a force of arms. It's not something you deal forcefully. There's a way you deal with it, and your spouse may just throw in the towel and walk out of the relationship and jump into the arms of her lover. So there are things you need to do. What we are telling you here is the gentle way of handling these matters. So please, take it easy. Allow her express her. Allow her, wait for her time. When the time is fully, it could be 1 month, it could be 2 months, it could be a week. Allow her to process her feelings, and then she comes back to her fullness. Very important. And then the final one I want to say in this very particular edition is let communication flow freely. I know it is difficult for some people out there. Some men, once the woman says no to sex, you discover that the man is full of frowns the whole day. The man can hardly speak again. Anger will continue to reach on the inside. Even the use of quality words or quality conversation is no longer there. Gutter language everywhere, acerbic words everywhere. He can even curse you simply because the woman said no early in the morning or late at night. The whole day is all messed up. I know of some men, the day even he would not even be willing to drop money for her to buy food. It's like she has committed a grievous offense. No, please, no. Calm down. Flow gently with her. There's nobody out there who doesn't love sex. I can tell you, if it is done in the right way, if communication is flowing freely, and the couple are able to look one another, eyeball to eyeball, and be able to minister to themselves in gentleness, in humility, in kindness, in compassion, and empathy, it's very important. So I pray that you actually have what it takes to actually let communication flow, and the joy of that relationship will be restored. I thank you very much for actually taking our time to listen to this wonderful edition. And please, before you check out, look at this red button by my side. Click on it, get subscribed, and recommend our channel to your loved ones. I love you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful evening.